What is going on, everybody? Today is finally the day. I am gonna go ahead and put the radiator on the RZ. I got a stellar aftermarket RZ radiator here from, I don't know, some cooling radiator specialty. I don't know, made from China, cheaper than the going with the OEM one. And honestly, I didn't even check to see if the OEM one was available, because these radiators from aftermarket radiators are just fine, pose no difference really at the end of the day. So this one I checked now, and these holes on here, the mounting holes there, they are actually correct. I went ahead and preset this because I wanted to make sure that the part was correct. The last one that I got from China, or eBay, you could say, it did not fit. The mounting holes were drilled too low. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and get them on, and then I got some new radiator hoses that I'll have to cut to fit here, I think, a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so these radiators just sit up here. They got a little, like, I guess a little peg here that goes into a rubber mount right there, and then they get rubber mounted down here. So one on each side. Go ahead and slap that together. Alrighty, so radiator I just got mounted up, but I went ahead and got some aftermarket radiator hoses. Now these hoses probably do need to be cut, but they're just like pre-made ones already, so I'm sure they fit a lot of other things, so wouldn't surprise me if we have to end up cutting it. But this whole thing, radiator hoses, it cost me $100, and I know for a fact that if I were to go to like OEM or something like that, easily radiators are $200, $250 plus. So you do save yourself quite a bit of money not going OEM, and honestly most of the time it's better quality, or I wouldn't even say better quality, but most of the time it can be better quality, we'll say that. So, and in this case I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. So it is probably self-explanatory, but when you're putting hoses on, make sure you put the hose clamps on. Just like when you're doing any sort of wire and solder, putting on the plastic shrink wrap is literally the most important part. So in this case, I just always put on the radiator clamps here before, you know, and kind of squeeze this together to get it to go on. I don't know, it's the best way that I've found to make it a lot easier. Another tech tip when you're doing this is to install the radiator clamps in an accessible location for your screwdriver. So you want to be able to at all times be able to just basically get at these each different spot in an accessible area. It will make your lives a million times easier when you find a leak, or if you have a leak, and be able to tighten a clamp down, etc. Promise you. So now that I got the clips all done, or excuse me, now that I have the radiator hoses done, radiator is installed, I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up with some antifreeze. Everybody's gonna get mad at me because honestly, I just use 50/50 orange, North America, green, blue, don't matter. It's all the same antifreeze at the end of the day, so no big deal. I run engine ice in my dirt bike, and this thing I just run normal 50/50. I have never had a problem with it. So in really anything, the only reason I ran engine ice is because I know that's what was in it. So at the end of the day, that's what I tell you to do. Oh, and lastly, when filling antifreeze, go super slow. Slower you go, in a lot of cases the better, because it doesn't form bubbles. In the case of some of these bikes, I'm sure not just the RZ, but anything else, you may have to bleed out air bubbles. So if you go slow and you take your time with it, it doesn't form air bubbles, and in which case there's nothing to be bled. So it's super important. And obviously, if you do run down the road and all of a sudden you see a big spike up in your temp gauge, something like that, you may have an air bubble. So the slower you go, the better. Well, boys and girls, as you can probably tell, I got the radiator on. You know, as always, things from China don't always fit. Even though they might be better quality potentially, they don't always fit. This time, I guess I ended up ordering too big of a radiator, a 42 millimeter wide, I guess maybe. So the shroud don't quite fit. So I got her zip tied up there at the top. Hard to see, maybe you can see it. But otherwise, everything else is fitting pretty mint and hard to see in there. but my oil seals that I did fix the problem. So as a wrap, I did the Wicked power valve coupler, the oil seals, new spark plug caps, spark plug caps, and plugs, and the new radiator here. And to be honest, this thing is absolutely ripping. And truthfully, it's ripping better than I think it has in the past. I think that coupler has done a little bit of a magic. So, man, RZ back together. Yeah. All right, everybody. So the real question is, what's next for the channel? And to be honest, it's something I've been contemplating quite a bit. I honestly don't 100% know, but I do know one thing, that ahead of time, we're gonna have some videos of this Honda 450 out there riding the track. I've considered putting together a series basically of getting back in motocross shape, or in moto shape generally, we can say. I used to ride quite a bit when I was a young guy. I started riding four-wheelers at 3 and dirt bikes at 5. And I rode forever, basically all the way up to college. And a little bit in college, it was, a couple nights a week I would be riding. We had a little dirt bike track in our yard, and it was constant. And since I moved, away and did master's degree and things like that, I sold my bike. I didn't ride much, and now I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things. So I figured maybe it'd be kind of cool to video my progress, I guess, as I get better on the track, get more accustomed to the bike, learn the settings, and kind of take you along with on my journey over the next year of getting back in shape. So I think that's something that I think I'm going to do, aside from, we'll be doing more maintenance videos and all that sort of fun stuff. So let's see what's next. So if you like what you see, please subscribe. I appreciate it a lot. So thanks, bye.